Can I take you home? No, I think I'll walk. Issa said, I'm not that kind of girl to let you play me out. Shout out to JoJo. What's up, y'all? This is Insecure, Season 4, Episode 8. Lowkey happy. This episode gave me my whole entire life. I'm sorry I didn't get to do the last episode. I have a lot of family stuff going on, so it's been a little hectic around here. Hopefully I'll be able to recap the last 2 episodes. Wish me luck. Y'all, we might actually see a Lawrence and Issa reunion because apparently they make each other happy. Nothing makes me more happy than to know that I had such a close friend. I am seriously on a JoJo kick right now. I miss her little peanut head. But anyway, so first question of the night. What about Nathan? What about Ghost Bay? Now, y'all know I don't like Lawrence. You know I can't stand Lawrence. He's laid up on that couch. He finally admitted it. But what about her relationship or situationship with Nathan now? Do you think she'll tell him that she slept with Lawrence? Will it matter? Would he even be mad? I don't know. Does she even owe his ass anything? Well, you know what? She kind of does at this point because she did use him for the block party. And now she's sleeping with Lawrence. So... But anyway, let's get into the episode. So we see Lawrence and Issa are meeting up for drinks at the bar. And at first it seems like the universe is telling them that this is not going to work out and that they should not be having this little meetup or powwow or whatever they're doing, because Lawrence tries to pop the Altoid in his mouth. It falls out. Issa busts her face on the concrete and embarrasses herself. Like the universe is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. And technically, we don't know who Lawrence called when he was leaving the airport at the last episode. He could have easily called Barefoot Contessa, since he's obviously still talking to her. So we're assuming he was calling Issa when he left, but maybe he called Contessa. Who knows? But anyway, this ends up being a date night situation. They're both dressed up. Issa has the girls out. Lawrence looks really handsome in this episode. And it looks like they're at a first Friday. So I don't know if that was on purpose, but there's something kind of fishy going on with this situation. Side note, I was not feeling Issa's hair in this episode. I usually love the styles that she rocks, but those 2 little ridges on the sides of her hair, it was giving your girl Dilophosaurus tease. Like, I'm sorry, but it wasn't working for me. It just made her head look like a little walnut. You know how walnuts have those ridges? But back to the episode. So we see that there's a lot of roadblocks happening between Issa and Lawrence's meetup. I mean, one thing is they can't even hear each other over the music. There's the guy that interrupts and places himself between them when they're trying to order. Also notice that in the background, they're playing that Lizzo song, You Could Have Had a Bad Bitch. And I was like, okay, so is that about Issa or is that about Contessa? Because, I mean, do we consider Issa a bad bitch? Was she a bad bitch when they were together? I don't know if she was, to be honest. I mean, she's on this whole thing now where she's trying to, put together block parties or be a social curator. So, I don't know. So anyway, they decide to move on from that loud space and go to dinner. So my first thought was, is he going to pay for it? I swear to God. But on the way there, they take a cab ride or a Lyft ride with an older woman, and they're joking around. And I almost smiled because I was like, okay, they do have a connection. It is cute, but I still don't like him. I don't like him. But you can see that they have, they have banter. Like, I forgot how long they had been together. Maybe it was like 5 years or something. So they have, it's a familiar relationship, and it felt very natural seeing them kind of joke around again. And it was just very natural. So that was cute. I won't lie. I think that dinner scene between Lawrence and Issa was super important for her character in terms of growth and maturity, because she really held her own sitting there at that dinner table with him, because in the previous seasons she's kind of been like a little lapdog for him. We know that she let him come over and have sex with her. She's been kind of like pining for Lawrence. I mean, now she has moved on, but previously she wouldn't have been able to have that conversation with him without kind of falling apart. Lawrence definitely had the upper hand previously when it came to their interactions. This time when they're talking, she kind of gives off this air that, yes, she's still attracted to him, yes, she still likes him, but if things don't work out between them in this conversation, she won't be devastated because she's moved on past him. She's already gotten over him. You know what I mean? In other words, past Issa kind of gave off this like insecure, low self-esteem, you can walk all over me kind of, I don't know, energy. And then in this episode, she reads, I've changed. You can't treat me like that anymore. And men can pick up on that. Men know girls and women that they can dog out. You can sense that about people. One more thing I want to point out about that conversation that they had at dinner is when they're kind of spilling their guts about what they think went wrong in the relationship, and he's asking her those questions about why specifically Daniel, like it became really apparent that Lawrence was just so detached from that relationship, and that's why I have hated him so much, because he was just so, I mean, he just distanced himself from the relationship so much that he didn't even realize that things had fallen apart. He didn't realize what was going on with Issa in her life. We know that he forgot her birthday, which is, you know, it's not a huge deal. Actually, it is a big deal because I would be pissed if somebody forgot my birthday. But just like these little things, and the fact that they live together and you don't even know what's going on with your partner. I mean, that speaks volumes to where you are in the relationship. And she said, you didn't want me. And he's like, no, it's not that I didn't want you. I just was feeling some type of way about myself. And I could kind of get that. Like, I understand, like, if you feel inadequate or lonely or whatever. But what I don't understand about Lawrence's character is why he took so long to get off the couch, because he was saying that he wasn't able to leave every day like she was, but he could have left. I mean, there's something he could have done. He could have found a job way before he started working at Best Buy. He could have done something. He could have, you know, gotten into a hobby, clean the house up, cook a meal, like do something. So, I mean, I think that the show does kind of skirt around with like mental health issues, but they don't attack them full on. So he probably was going through a depression, which is fine. But I think at some point you have to kind of pick yourself up and be a man and get off the couch. Because I feel like what happened with Issa and Lawrence is she coddled him too much. He's going to get together. He's going to get together. He's going to get together. And then look what happened. He got together. You cheated. He left you. And you try to beg him back or whatever. Like, that's a huge thing with these guys that are like coddled and we build them up and all that. Like, it just doesn't work. You need to be with a man who is already established. And if he has mental issues down the line, you work those out. You know, you mess with it then. You address it then. But that's just my 2 cents. Moving on. So at the end of the meal, Issa gets up to go to the restroom, and we see that he gets a text message from Barefoot Contessa. So she's like, can you come over tonight instead of coming over the following week or whatever? And I'm like, okay, what kind of game is Lawrence playing right now? Because he texts her back and he's like, yeah, I can hit you up when I'm done. And I was like, oh, shit. Lawrence is just what I thought. He is not shit. I mean, we don't know that just yet. We don't know. But that was a little suspect for me. And it kind of makes me wonder if people online are right that maybe Barefoot Contessa might be pregnant, like we had talked about in previous episodes. That might be what's going on. Or he's playing both. He's playing, you know, both sides of the fence. If Issa doesn't work out, well, he can fall back on Contessa. I don't know. I'm really hoping they address that before the season ends, because I don't want to wait another year and a half to know the truth. But anyway, so they start to head out, but they don't want the night to end. So again, do y'all think Lawrence paid for that meal? You let me know. I'm going to say that he did. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I do believe he paid for the meal, but sometimes you just don't know about these ninjas. So they're heading out, and they just happen to run into our favorite Teddy Graham, TSA Bay. And he is a whole fool. He is gross and stupid. He's like, was y'all up in there tearing up them scrimps? Did they have strawberry lemonade? I was like, oh my God. I had secondhand embarrassment for Issa when he was saying that, because I was like, damn, you got your ex over here who was fine as hell, and your jump off dude, and he's a whole Teddy Graham, and he's a little slow. I'm sorry, that was mean. He is not slow. He's just a Teddy Graham, and they have problems with, you know, their joints and movements and all that because they're made out of some kind of dough or something. So anyway, but Lawrence starts egging TSA Bay on, and Issa is just like, oh my God, why, Lord, just let me die now. So anyway, after TSA Bay and his Bay, as a matter of fact, how is Teddy Graham's pulling all these fine women, by the way? Did I miss something? But anyway, so Lawrence for some reason keeps messing with Issa, and I can't remember if he got like a phone call or if he just said, okay, good night, it was fun, bye, and he walked off. And then Issa was like, what the fuck? And I was sitting there thinking the same thing, like, why did he just walk off like that? That was it? So I don't know what kind of game Lawrence is playing in this whole episode. I'm very confused about how he actually feels about Issa right now. On one hand, it's like, maybe this is just the way they were with each other when they were happy. They just kept playing with each other. But on the other hand, I kind of feel like he's trying to embarrass her in a way, which is kind of weird. But he also maybe is still trying to maintain that he would have the upper hand in the relationship and that he's the prize. I don't know. Okay, so they end up going on a walk and they decide to go to the art show. Actually, that's what happened. Lawrence walked away and said, have fun with that. But he comes back and they go together to the art show and they're walking around and just having a conversation about what makes them happy. And they're both talking about like ways in which they have grown since they have broken up. And at some point they stop in front of this, I don't know if it's like a fluorescent light display or whatever it was, but on one side it was red, the other side was blue. So it kind of symbolized like hot and cold, but I don't understand the meaning of it. So I'm hoping somebody can drop some knowledge in the comments about, what that symbolism means. Because if you take it at face value, Lawrence is running hot, Issa is running cold, but I'm not seeing how Issa is running cold and Lawrence is running hot. I don't really get it. I don't know. You guys let me know because I don't know. I don't know how to interpret art, I guess. So fast forward a little bit, they leave the art show and they're heading home because they live around the same neighborhood or whatever. And Lawrence is talking about Issa seeing his apartment. And I'm like, he's trying to show her that he has established himself at this point. He has his own place. It's probably nice. He's got his little decorations up. He's got a maid and all that. And he invites her in. And she's just like, you want me to come in and look around? He's like, oh, it'll just be a minute, right? So I was like, again, what is Lawrence trying to pull here? He's not being explicit enough for me with his feelings and what exactly he's trying to accomplish. Because after Issa comes into his apartment and gives him his props that yes, you got off the couch, you got a job, you have your own place, great. Now let me go use your bathroom. So he takes, he didn't take a call. He calls Contessa back because she had called him previously and he ignored it. And I was like, Lawrence, what are you doing? Like, why are you trying to play Issa right now? Why are you calling her and you have your ex here at the house? What are you doing? And he tells her on the phone, look, I'm sorry I got caught up, but I can come over later. So I'm like, this dude is seriously trying to play the field right now. So when he walks back in the house, Issa's actually standing there and she's like, well, I heard your conversation. You were on the phone with Barefoot Contessa, but I don't care. I want to stay. And I was like, no, Issa, don't do it. Don't do it. But you know what? I don't know. It kind of doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter because Issa she's going through a change. And they did that, they end up having sex and they did that thing where you meet up with your ex and you had those old feelings or whatever and it feels like old times, and ultimately she got what she wanted out of it and there's no hurt feelings. She knows what it is. So it really doesn't matter that she slept with Lawrence. I wish she didn't, but it is what it is. And when they get up in the morning, it was a little awkward for me because I was like, okay, so are they gonna play this game of, well, should I call you? But no, they don't do that. Issa gets up and she's like, I'm about to head home. He's like, do you want me to give you a ride? And she's like, no, I'm gonna walk. And her walk home is actually kind of glorious. I felt good for Issa. I was like, you know what? Do you, boo? I'm not even mad at you. So yeah, I think that wraps up this one. You guys obviously let me know what you think in the comments. Also hit the notification bell. Apparently people aren't even being notified. But yeah, leave a like if you will and subscribe if you're not, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.